Hello everyone, welcome back to our SQL tutorial series. In this video, we will discuss about one more important topic in SQL, that is SQL Joins. So what Joins does? Joins allows us to retrieve data from multiple tables in meaningful way. For example, if we have multiple tables in our database also, like if you see here, when you click on the SQL database and view schema, you are seeing patients, doctors, admissions, province names, and you are seeing some relation between these tables also. If you see, patient ID is mapped to patient ID in admissions, and doctor ID in doctors table is mapped to attending doctor ID in admissions table. Similarly, province ID in patients table is mapped to province ID column of province names. So multiple tables holding pieces of information, we can say. So if I want to get some admission record, if you see the admissions table, it has patient ID, admission date, discharge date, diagnosis, and attending doctor ID. We have patient ID and doctor ID in this. And if we query this, for example, see, I'm just removing everything else, and instead of patients, okay, let us keep patients also. And here admissions, if you run this query, you see some admissions. See, we have all these admissions, and if you want to query admissions of where patient ID equal to 1, got it? So this is the information about admissions of patient ID 1. But seeing this data, we can't say who is the exact patient and who is the doctor attended and what is the specialty of that doctor. The details we have seen in the doctor's table in schema, right? So now any admission information means the complete information of a particular admission is scattered across the tables, means we have in three tables: patient table, doctor table, and admissions table. So we have information in three different tables. So if we want to get those data in meaningful way means this admission date and this discharge date, and this is the diagnosis done to this patient ID. And instead of saying just patient ID, we will be retrieving what is the first name of the patient, last name of the patient, and any other details as per our requirement. Similarly, the required details from the doctor's table also will be presented along with the readable information instead of the IDs. So for that, we actually depend on the joins. And in SQL, we have multiple types of join actually. Those are inner join, left join, right join, and full join. We will see about all these in a moment. Now we already executed one query called select star from admissions where patient ID equal to 1, and we got all this data. And if you run only select star from admissions, we see we are getting the patient IDs and doctor IDs. Now what if my requirement is, I'll keep this in comment. So what if my requirement is I want to see the patient first name, patient last name as well. So now we have two tables. One is patient's table and admissions table. And patient's first name and last name are stored in patient's table, and the remaining admission details are available in admission table. So I want to retrieve two columns from one table and remaining columns from other table, and we need to join these two tables. We will depend on inner join to begin with. So inner join, what is inner join means? Inner join actually works and it retrieves the matching records in both tables. And what is matching records? We will see. So there will be some join condition, and based on that, the records which are actually matching that condition in both tables will be retrieved. We will see that by writing a SQL query using joins as well. So how to write that means select, instead of star I'll put this portion empty for now, and I will keep table's name first. Okay, the first table name is patients, comma, second table name is admissions. Okay, or we can write using the inner join keyword also. So the first table name is from patients inner join, and second table name we need to give here admission. So we are joining patients with admissions. So these two tables are being joined to get the required information. And what is the condition to join these tables or to get the data? Means on the patient ID from the patients table and admissions tables patient ID also. So we have patient ID in patients table as well as admissions table. So we will be getting the column and we will be checking if those are two are equal. Patients dot patient patient ID equal to admissions dot patient ID. So instead of writing patients dot and admissions dot, what we can do is we can provide some alias to the table. So P is the alias for patients table, means it is a short form to refer patients table from now, and A is the alias for admissions table. So instead of patients, it works with P also now. It works with A also now. Got it? And what are the columns to be retrieved? Now from the patients table means P dot I want patient first name means first name, and P dot last name. Along with this, I want from admissions table admission date, comma, A dot discharge date, comma, A dot diagnosis, comma, A dot doctor ID. From patients P inner join admissions A on patients dot patient ID, means P dot patient ID equal to A dot patient ID. So in this case we use inner join. So it returns only records that have matching values in both tables. Both tables means the one before the inner join and the one after the inner join. We usually say, if you see this inner join, this is the left part, so this is the left table, and this is the right part to the join keyword, so it is the right table. Now we get the records that has matching values in both tables. So if a record has a matching value on patient ID in both tables, then that record will be retrieved. For example, patient ID, it has 1 in admissions table. So if we have a record in patients table which has patient ID 1, then first name and last name will be considered from that record and will be appended with admission date, discharge date, diagnosis from this table. Similarly, for this also it will check again patient.id. So it checked the patient ID value 1 in the patient's table, and it retrieves the first name and last name if it exists there, and the remaining data from here. And then it goes to the next record 3. So it checks the patient table and it will see if the patient table has record 3, a record which has patient ID 3, then first name last name will be considered from that record and will be displayed. If at all patient table does not have a patient with 3, patient ID is 3, then this data will be skipped in the result set. This entire data will be skipped. So we will see running this query, so that instead of just this result, we should be seeing the first name and last name along with the admission details of A dot doctor ID. A dot admissions, we have doctor ID, attending doctor ID. So attending doctor ID is the column name. So if you run this query, now we got patient's first name, last name. So now it is readable and understandable. See, now we know, okay, this is the patient first name, last name who got admitted on this date and discharged on this date and diagnosed with this one. And this is the doctor who attended. Of course, we don't have doctor name. Similarly, we can join doctor table also. We'll see. For now, we have doctor ID displayed. And similarly, for other records also, we have all this information. And all these are the records that has matching record for this condition in both tables. Those are only returned. We can say these are the patients with an admission record included. So we have patients who has admissions. Those are included in this result set. Got it? So this is how we are using inner join. And if the patient has not admitted, maybe if they opted for outpatient record, so they does not have admission date and discharge date, so that entry will not be in the admissions. But we do have the patient record, but that record does not exist in the admissions table. So that patient information is not available in this result set. So this result set is clearly the patients who got admissions. Got it? So now we will see left join. This is also called one kind of outer join. So when condition is not met on both tables, we will go for outer joins. And in outer join, we have two kind of outer join, left join and right join. Got it? Left join means it considers, or we can say, as I told earlier, whenever you are seeing a join keyword, the left side part, this is called left table and this is called right table. And whenever I used left join instead of inner join, then what happens is it returns all the records from the left table, means the table which is available in the left side of the join keyword. So this is the left table, patients. So it returns all the records from this left table, which is patients, plus matching records from the right table. Got it? So we will be getting all the records from the patients table, irrespective of that patient has admission or not, plus the data which matched with the given condition from right table. Then you are saying, okay, for example, we have 100 records and 10 does not take 10 patients don't take admissions. Then we are saying in left join we will be getting patient records, but what about the values from right side table? Because this is the user information or patient information, Donald and Waterfield. So we are retrieving these two information. What about these? Because the query I did not change the value, the columns we did not change here. So what happens to these? Because we don't have that corresponding patient record in admissions, means we will get nulls in this. Got it? So we get the patient first name, last name and nulls in the admissions table because we don't have the data in the right table. Okay. So this should work in such a way so that it should get all the patients. I will run this again in the inner join itself. P dot patient ID also we will retrieve, and if you run this we see all this, and this is sorted by default sorting, maybe first column, so it is patient ID. If you see here, we don't have admission for patient ID 2. How can we see it? Patient ID 2 does not have admission, means this is inner join. So if it is available in both tables, that should have been returned in this result set. Now we will include the column in this also, and we will see what happens to that record with patient ID 2. Then now we got the record with 2 also, who has no admission, but it has data in patient table. So we got first name, last name from the patient table, and because that does not have values in the admissions table, we got nulls. Similarly, it happened for patient record 4 as well, and it has many such records. So this is how left join works. So it gets all the records from the left table, which is patient's table. That is why we got first and last name. These are the details from left table, and nulls from the right table when the condition is not met, means those are not matching. So this is what happened. And we will see the right join. The reverse of this is right join. So we will get all the records from the right table and nulls for the left table columns. We will have all the records in the patient table. I doubt that, but we will see if we get any such. No, we got all the patients, because in the admissions table, if we have some patient ID, means that ID is available in the patient record, so we don't get nulls over here. But in real time, if we are working on any other column, which is available commonly in both tables, that might be missing in one of the table, then we will get the result as we expect. Okay, but it will be something in reverse to this left join result. So it should be null here, and we should get data here. Got it? So that is right join. And what full join does is it returns all the records when there is a match in either table. If there is no match, null values are shown. That's also, this is, you can say, we will be getting all the records from both tables. And because this is matching in both tables, if you see the record 1, it has data in patients as well as admissions. So we get all the data in all columns. And if at all it has no admission, then we will get like this. If at all the patient is missing, we will see nulls over here. Got it? So this is how full join works, and the keyword will be full join. And one more thing, can we join more than one table? Here we join one table to patients, which is admission. Can we use one more table? Means yes, we can get the doctor's name. We will see what actually doctors has. So doctor ID, first name, last name, and specialty. Okay, so all these values, first name, last name, specialty, also I just want to retrieve from the doctor's table. Now what I can do is, so now initially we join patients with admissions, and the condition is on this one. So patients, we inner join this one. I'm just modifying this query. So this is the patients and inner join admissions, and this is the condition. Similarly, we will inner join one more table called doctors, and give an alias like D, and the condition will be, what common column we have in these is, in admissions table we have attending doctor ID, and in the doctors table we have doctor ID. So on admissions dot attending doctor ID equal to doctors dot D dot doctor ID, and in the result, instead of attending doctor ID and A dot ID, D dot first name, comma, D dot last name, comma, D dot specialty. And now you run this, see, we got the first name, last name, specialty of the doctors as well. Now we have complete information of one particular admission. So this is the patient ID with first name and last name, admitted on this date, discharged on this date, diagnosed with this one, and attended doctor is this doctor with specialty of this. Got it? So all these are the information retrieved from 3 different tables. Got it? So this is how we can join multiple tables. Also we have one more thing, self joins. Also self joins, I don't think we can demo with this database. For example, consider some scenario like maybe in interviews also you might be expecting this. So if there is an employee table, what it has is some employee ID, right? So employee ID, first name, last name, and manager ID. Employee ID, first name, last name, and manager ID. And remember, manager is also an employee. So his or her record also available in employee table only. So this is the ID, which actually manager ID is nothing but employee ID of that manager. Got it? So I want to see first name and last name of the manager instead of manager ID, like manager name, manager first name, manager last name. Okay, which are nothing but, whenever this manager ID equal to employee ID, then I want to show that first name and last name. So that is the manager's first name and last name. In that case, if you observe, the relation is established from the same table. So we can build self join in that case. It is something like treating the same table as 2 different tables and joining. So that is self join concept. So we will take employee E1 inner join, employee E2. So before and after inner join we have employee only, but alias name we gave differently, E1 and E2. And in that case, E1 dot employee ID should be equal to E2 dot manager ID, like that, or E1 dot manager ID equal to E2 dot employee ID. So we are assuming those two as different 2 tables, E1 and E2, but the table is same. So that is why that is called self join. So this is about joins in SQL. In the next video, we will discuss about some aggregate functions and group by clause. Till then, keep practicing on SQL joins because this is one of the important concept to learn. Thank you.